From the hollers and hills of West Virginia, it's Heavenly Hills Homestead with another episode. Stay tuned. Boom! Cold, nasty, rainy day. I mean, this is nasty weather. This is. I was about to say this is October weather. It's October. Dingleberry. All right, let me see. I think that this thing here might be able to pull off a squash. If I can just convince the judges that that thing is green and bronze. So that's what we're getting ready to do. Green and bronze and gray. Let's see if we can't pull that off. All right, guys, so we've got lemon pepper. We've got our hot dry rub, the sweet and sour, or excuse me, sweet and hot and sweet rub, whatever you want to call it. That's the lemon, the lime one that we got, and here's our chocolate one. Our chocolate rub. All we're gonna do is put these in, shake it up like shake and bake, and put it on here with our lemon pepper. All right, guys. So I'm gonna put some dry blankets on our pumpkins. And, it's a lot warmer out here tonight than it was past 2 nights. That's a good thing. You feel the warm air coming back. It's about 1:30 in the morning. We've been switching blankets out on them all day, drying blankets and just switching them all up, keeping it as dry as possible. Down here earlier to show a buddy of mine that came over, this big gal down here, Anna, and when I did, took these blankets off of it, and Anna had a residence that had decided to take up a house with her here, and it ran up underneath that board there. That board was flipped over. Anyways, I got back here and started looking around because that's my job, to keep a good lookout for it, and I found mouse turds up here on this shoulder right in here. Didn't want that. That was a bad thing. Yeah, so she's pretty cantalouped, pretty bad there. You can see how pretty of an orange she would have been though. I mean, that right there, you can't really tell. It's a deep orange. You don't look it on the camera. That's a very, very deep orange color. She would have been a beautiful one had she not cantalouped like she did. All that cantaloupe kind of just dulls the color down on them real bad. But nevertheless, I do know that she's got a good cross inside of her. At 2350 is inside of this pumpkin. So that's 2 times the 2350 in this. This is a 1858 Schmidt crossed to the 2350, which produced this pumpkin, the 1088 Bayou. And then I took the 1088 Bayou and crossed it with the 2350 again, so it's 2 times 2350 in it. And that should really orange this pumpkin up and keep those heavy genetics, plus get it real nice and orange. I'm kind of excited to grow this pumpkin out next year. You can hear, I mean, she's pretty solid sounding, and I mean, I think she's gonna be a good one. I hope. Anyways, get this water off of here. I'm trying to keep them dry as possible and not let any water get up on her. But anyways, I don't know about, I've been looking real close after I seen that mouse, and trying to look around here and make sure there ain't no chew marks or anything. If there was gonna be any chew marks, look at that, still pushing and sapping. Anyways, if there was gonna be any chew marks in this thing, they're gonna be up underneath there, right there, where that little rascal can get. And it's not a huge cavity up in there, but it's just big enough for that rascal to go up in there. And so what I did is I brought out some stuff here. So we can try to catch this little rascally rabbit. We don't want them in there. I don't want them around here. If they're going in and out there, we want to make sure we catch them. And so let me get these out real quick. Put you down real fast. Keep talking to you though. What we want to do is we want to get these traps set out here. We're just going to tuck it right up in there. So if it tries to come in or out, we'll get it. And I'm going to set 2 of them there. So it has to, it has to get caught one way or another. And set them just like that there. Bring y'all back down here. Zoom you in there. You can see right there's what we got going on. So it fits 2 of those traps right there. And like I say, you can see there's a pretty big hole there. And it could get up under there if it wanted to. And I'm trying to keep it from doing that. I don't want it to go up in there. If it does go up in there, if it tries to come out or whatever, I want it to get stuck. That's what I want. I want it to get stuck and hung up. So we'll see. We'll see what may happen there. So we're hoping that nothing bites it or eats it or anything. But you just never know. By next year, I am gonna have me one of them cameras. So if this happens again next year with these pumpkins, seeing as how I've bred them all kind of close to the same, we get that weird shape like we got this year on it, then I'm hoping that we'll be able to put a video, camera up in there and be able to get some good video footage of whatever may be occurring up under there, and be able to see how bad it is. Let me just kind of check real fast around here quickly. Yeah, I don't see no chew marks here. I don't see no chew marks back in there. You get this close to it, I mean, you really start worrying, man, because it just, this has been a really good fruit all year, and I would really hate for it to crap the bed on me now, so close to time, you know what I mean? And I get worried about places, I start feeling on them and checking them out pretty well, because this thing, to me, I don't think it sounds as dense as it was. To me, it sounds like it's starting to maybe get a little hollow sounding, but I could be just off my rocker, but it sounds like it's getting a little thud sound to it, but I don't know, but it is growing. I can tell you that much. In fact, I'll show you what we got there. So, right there it be. It's about another ½ inch, because the other day it was sitting at, let's see, what did it say? Yeah, it's about a ½ inch. Almost, well, almost more. It was sitting at 160 the other day, and it's over a ½ inch of growth. So it's still packing on the pounds, so that's a good sign. So hopefully it'll grow right on into the next weekend, and we'll pull this pumpkin on Friday. We'll set her on a trailer. We'll load her up and we'll take her to Spring Hope, where I'm hoping to take my first place in the giant pumpkins. First time that I'll have first place in a giant pumpkin. We're just praying and hoping that the good Lord will bless this pumpkin and keep it for one more week, and give us safe travels down there next weekend, and we can get down there and place first place at Spring Hope. We was gonna go this weekend, but they canceled it this weekend because of the hurricane. I didn't know if that pumpkin would hold on another week or not. I was getting a little antsy. I could have took it to Allard, Tennessee this weekend. I would have took second place. I would have had the biggest pumpkin. The first place would have been 1,618 pounds. And then there would have been this one, which is over 1,000, or should be over 1,000. And then the next one closest to me at third place would have been like 300 or 400 pounds, something like that. I think it was like 400 pounds. 420 pounds or something like that. Would have been the next one closest to me. So I could have went in there and took second. Second was $400, but it's 6 hours away, 6.5 hours away. It's a long drive for $400, So I think holding out that extra week, Spring Hope, give me an extra 10, 15 pounds, maybe, hopefully, we pray. Maybe even more internally, if it's bulking up internally. And get a good sound fruit down there. Take first place at Spring Hope, which is 4 hours and 41 minutes. Well, no, excuse me, 5 hours and 41 minutes away. So it's about an hour closer, but got a good shot at taking first. So anyhow, gonna get this girl all wrapped up and everything. This is the life of a pumpkin grower. You're out here all hours of the night. If any of you want to grow a giant pumpkin, it takes a lot of dedication. It takes a lot of sacrifice, and you got to be on your game. You got to watch every little thing, and you can't let anything slip by, slide by, whatever you want to call it. Just like this mouse, that could have been a one-off. He could have been up there in them blankets, and now that I didn't put them blankets ain't been there for a while, he might not be back. But I don't want to take a chance in it that he's maybe tried to find a home up in there, or comes back and or whatever. You got to be vigilant. You got to be on your game. You got to be on your toes at all times, and you really got to watch these things just like they're children. I mean, that pumpkin right there, this pumpkin right here could end up being my biggest pumpkin that I've ever grown. And I grew her on a plant that was less than 150 square foot. And it's mine and Kira's plant, mine and Kira's pumpkin. And, just, I don't really know what else to say. Just, it's a lot of work, a lot of dedication, and to get them to the scale takes a lot of time, and a lot of just paying attention and being patient and coddling them, and it does become like a child, and you're proud of it, and you're happy with it, and so many emotions go on with these pumpkins, and well, any of these giants, because you tend to them. You watch them from the time they're an ovary, which is a small pumpkin. You pollinate it. You know what the daddy is. And all those things that go into it. So it is much like a child to you. And you watch it grow and into these awesome things that God has allowed. It's amazing. There's nothing else you can say. It's just amazing. But it does take a lot of your time. And if you want to grow a giant pumpkin and you want to be successful at growing giant pumpkins, you got a lot that you're going to have to sacrifice to get them. All right, you got to sacrifice a lot. So I'm gonna cover this one up. We're gonna go get the other sleeping bag and cover the other one up, and get on out of here. All right, guys. So here she is. She's a real orange pumpkin. Again, doesn't look very orange on camera, but she's orange. So let's see here. You gotta put it on there a certain way. Where's the zipper? There's a zipper right there. Make sure it goes on the correct way. I don't think this. Yeah, I think it. No, hang on a minute. I think we got the wrong way. Hang on. All right, guys. So I don't really want to take any chances with this one either, and so let's see here. I think I got some things here. Yeah, so we're going to try to put some of these out right here, just to make sure if anything comes around, it dies. They don't get to hang around. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, it ain't even full. Daggone it, you got to open it up and fill it. I hate that. All right, hang on. All right, so I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm going to do it tomorrow. What I am going to do is put my fan back here like so. Get this dried out as best as possible. The better, the more. Well, what happened here? I'm going to have to get me hooked back up. All right, let me hook it back up. But we're going to dry this out better. The drier you can get it underneath there, the better you are. So we're going to get it dried up. It might be blowing cold air on it. You might think defeating the purpose, but it's not. So, guys, we appreciate you watching, and we'll see you tomorrow right here in the Hollers and Hills, West Virginia.
Don't forget to smash that like button, that notification bell. Don't get the
Good job. Here you go. Thank you.
Don't get the
Don't forget to share. Yep. There you go. Good job. And subscribe.